everything we see is a projection from one consciousness that encompasses all consciousness. There are, for example, beings and intelligences, for example the artificial intelligence, that can manipulate this hologram. In that case, it's actually cutting information out. If you're getting intuition, psychic abilities, third eye visions, you're getting outside of, we could say, what's being allowed as a program for us to experience in the 3D in terms of information going outside of the bandwidth of the electromagnetic spectrum, because we really only see the visible light spectrum, and then there's infrared, gamma rays, UV, radio waves, microwaves, so on. But it comes down to intention, and I mean really strong intention and conviction of knowing that which you're putting out for, you're bringing to you. We see this with manifestation and the likes. So unless you're well versed or practiced in doing practices and training yourself to work with the mind that's being really God's mind, witnessing you observing this reality and doing it from that place, not here, but you go from the heart space to connect to that. So you're really going within to all that is from that point. That's where you manifest, that's where you create, and that's where you can manipulate the hologram. We see many people doing years and years and years of practices to where they can start to manifest as tulpas and aggregors, where they're able to create intelligences or manifest objects. They're manipulating the hologram, they're bringing it from the field, from God's source creator, the unified field, the quantum field. There's many terminologies that can be used, but that's what they're doing. Now, in your unbound state, you would know this, and you do know this, but you're reconnecting to it as you're going through an awakening process. And I'm not talking about the woke process, the awakening process of reconnecting with what you already know. And a lot of that information comes through ideas, epiphanies, concepts, a knowingness, as I speak about so often. That's the place. If you can interact and go back and forth with that place, sometimes it might be God's source creator that you're interfacing with, or your higher self that is a cell of that. It could be spirit guides, angelics. You want to work with the higher self. You don't want any middlemen. These are more friends and family. But the more that you practice being the observer and conscious of your thoughts and things like that, that's where you can manipulate this reality. And again, you've got to be very careful, because if you're not doing it in a way that's not just a benefit to you, but of others, there is backlash that can happen with that. And this is where karma comes into it. Now, karma, in my opinion, is illusionary. If you think it's real, you're going to experience karma. Everything does have a cause and effect, we could say. But to drag old programming, actions, wrong conclusions, judgments, things that you've done with you, you're creating a prison within the mind. And because you're going over things, you're putting that out into the ether, you're manifesting that into physical reality. Doing things wrong, there's nothing bad with that. And I'm not condoning wrong actions, but it's the lessons that you learn from that is about soul evolution, which there is a difference between the soul and the spirit. Eventually you want to get to what we could say the spirit, the Holy Spirit. God's source creator is that. We've all got access to that. So working from that state, not the I, but the I am, losing self-identification and tapping into that field, realizing and knowing that everything's a manifestation of you and one consciousness interacting with itself, that's the place that the hologram can be overridden, reprogrammed, and new creation can come in order from that.